Yeah. All right, guys. Back live and stop his Genshin grind, boys. Maddie P. I didn't even have enough time to boot up Genshin because, of course, right after the live stream ended, my phone's blowing up because people are telling me the announcement dropped. So thanks, Bandai. I swear, somebody at Bandai was watching the stream, just waiting for me to end it so that they could drop the news then. But man, oh man. All right, yeah, so much for that break. All right, so I guess we'll take a look at the news because as I've now seen, as a lot of people have been pointing out to me now right after finishing the stream, that we have news. So let's go ahead back over here to the Bandai Spirits Twitter account where I would have expected the news to drop first. It hasn't, although we have this, which is an SD Tornado Gundam. I don't know what that's from or really anything about that, but okay, that's fine. What you guys let me know was to go to the Bandai Spirits Global channel. Is that right? No, that's not it. We want the Japanese one. Here we go. Here we have the news, and it is the Zeta Gundam. So yes, I already people were sending me this as soon as we got off stream. So let's take a look at this. All right, let's take a look at the video, and hopefully this live stream won't get claimed just from showing you guys playback of this. Let's just go to full screen here so you guys aren't seeing that. Yeah, so let's just skip ahead here to this. It's the Zeta Gundam. This was one of the ones that we mentioned that we thought might be a possibility for this. We just mentioned it now earlier in the earlier live stream. If you guys missed that, that the Zeta Gundam could be a possibility. I would have preferred a 2.0 ARC-782. I would have preferred a GP01. I would have preferred, honestly, I would have preferred a lot of other things other than the Zeta. I'm not that big of a fan of the Zeta Gundam, to be honest. I think that the Zeta Gundam would have made a much better candidate as an MGEX, because what they could do is really emphasize the transformation aspect of that as like the EX point. So it's, I don't know. I'm not that excited about this. And the artwork for it, I mean, what they're showing of it so far, I mean, I guess if you love the Zeta Gundam, then, I mean, it looks cool. Well, okay, let's take a look at this. 20th anniversary just kind of shows all the different Ver.Kas. I'm just going to kind of skip ahead here. And yeah, it's the Zeta Gundam. I don't know. A little bit boring in my opinion. I mean, I guess people, if it would have been the ARC-782, a lot of you guys would have been saying the same thing. So I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be mixed opinions on this. A lot of you guys, I'm sure, are probably stoked about this one. For me, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just because of the colors that it's in. Like the colors they're showing it in is like very, I don't know, it seems very anime accurate, but I think that this kit is going to look so much better in different colors. Just the color palette on it is, and it also doesn't strike me as very Katoki. Seeing as how it's the 20th anniversary, I thought it would have been something like a little bit more like Katoki flavored. I guess it is. I don't know. I would have to look at like what's the, I'm sure, well, okay, we're skipping over a lot of the video here. I'm sure there's a robot Damashi Katoki Zeta Gundam. Is there like a metal robot spirits? Yeah, a Ka signature, basically like a Ka signature, yeah, version of the Zeta Gundam. So yeah, what I was gonna say is that I'm sure if there's this, then the MG Ver.Ka is in the same colors as this, and yeah, it does look to be. Yeah, basically, colors are basically the same. No, yellow is a little bit more of that kind of like orangish yellow on this, which I actually prefer to this kind of more greenish yellow almost on this one, what we're seeing here. Also, what you can see from, at least from what we're seeing so far, I mean, it's got a good amount of decals on there, but it's not like plastered with decals. So that's different. I mean, it could change. What we're seeing right now is very early on. I would say here it's just showing like some of the engineering in the transformation. So obviously the transformation is going to be a big point of this. And so that's why it just really kind of makes, really just, I think this would have been such a good candidate for an MGEX, where they could like really emphasize the transformation of this as being the EX point and done something, I don't know, a little bit more Katoki for the 20th anniversary. I don't know. This, when I think of like Katoki, I don't think of the Zeta Gundam necessarily, but maybe that's just me. But there you have it. So we have the 2.0 Zeta, and we'll see how this compares. I'm not sure how it's going to compare. I would assume that this is going to be a completely original kit, that they're not going to reuse parts of the 2.0 Zeta kit for this. But we'll see. They might, especially like for the rifle. I don't know. You guys, I'm not that familiar with that kit. I've not built the 2.0 Zeta kit. What I have built is I think the only version of, there's many versions of that kit. I think the only version that I built would be the gray Zeta, which is not gray at all. It's orange, but the gray Zeta, I think, is the only version of the 2.0 Zeta that I've built. And I don't remember that kit well enough to remember it in that great detail. So, I mean, you guys who are more familiar with that kit could maybe tell me if any of this looks reused. I would imagine the kit is entirely new. If they're going to reuse anything, it may be like the parts for like the weapons, the beam rifle or something. This might be reused. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think they're going to reuse anything from the 2.0? And let's see. Yeah, it looks like a lot of you guys saying that the 2.0, well, mixed opinions here. Mercenary is saying that the 2.0 can't pose and barely hold its own guns, whereas some of you guys are saying that the 2.0 is good and this was not needed. So yeah, I mean, my impression has always been that the 2.0 Zeta, from what I know of it, is not a bad kit at all. It doesn't necessarily have too many problems. Move on to the Mgsd Freedom. Yeah, okay. So we'll come back to this, maybe talk some more about it. But yes, we do also have the news of the Mgsd, which this is also pretty surprising. I would not have expected the Freedom, but the like general shape here and here we go. Like what it is not surprising. So basically, it's pretty much exactly what I would have expected. It's like an SD proportioned MG kit, essentially, with more details, more inner frame. It's definitely got a lot more legs than like some SD kits have. So I mean, like those like custom SDHG crossover builds that you see. I don't know if I can find anything just right off the bat here. Kit bash. Like these here. There's my attempt at it, but you guys may be seeing stuff like this. And people do like kit bashes, like HG kits with SD heads, basically. That's pretty much what it looks like, what we're looking at here. So like the actual concept of what it is not too surprising. But the Freedom Gundam? I don't know. I mean, okay. I don't know. That's also, I've got to be honest, I'm not that stoked on that, to be honest. It's not necessarily one of my favorite Gundams by any means. And I mean, I guess it's a popular Gundam. I mean, it's popular enough that they made a 1-to-1 version of it in China. So you know it's got to be popular. But yeah, that's out of left field for sure. I definitely would not have called that. But then again, I mean, I really didn't know what to expect at all for the Mgsd, other than the RX-782, because it's the first kit in the line. Other than that, I mean, it's really kind of could have been anything. You guys are talking about the price. Does it say the price at the end here? 4,200 yen. So that means I don't know. It'll be around $40. Like once you get over to the US. I mean, if you looked at the exact conversion rate of that, I'm sure what it actually converts to is probably more like 35. But I mean, like then for people in the US, I would expect it's probably going to be around $40. That's not bad at all. That's like pretty standard for like and actually kind of on the lower end a little bit for MGs these days. If it's anything between like $35 and $50, it's like pretty standard MG price range. So it's right there for that, and it's just kind of a little bit smaller-ish. Does it say anywhere here in the video what the actual height is going to be of this? There you go, sticker decals. So no water slides, of course. There you go. I'm just gonna have sticker decals for this. Is there anything else too much else to glean from this? I mean, you guys can see here, yeah. So like I said, basically it's exactly what we were expecting. An inner framed SD Gundam, essentially. So it looks like, what's this? It's highlighting what's that? Clear parts or something? Yeah, clear parts in the wings. Cool. I don't know. So was there anything else here on the YouTube channel that was announced just now? No, that was all, just those two announcements. So yeah, both of those announcements, I gotta say, both Gundams that I'm not really that big of a fan of, so not super stoked on either of those. I mean, personally, what do you guys think about that? I'll put a poll up. Let's check your guys' feelings on that on YouTube later on after the live stream, so we can actually see the numbers. Cause I mean, I can ask you guys now, and you'll let me know in the chat. But like, I can't see everyone's and get like a proper sense of that. But yeah, underwhelming. Meh. I'm getting from you guys. Disappointed. Yeah, I'm just hoping we get Zeta variants based on the Ver.Ka. I mean, like I was saying in the live stream before, basically it seems like basically anything that's going to get Brian also saying highly indifferent. Yeah, anything that's going to get greenlit as an MG release from Bandai these days, I think is probably not going to get greenlit unless it has the possibility for premium Bandai variants, I would say. I mean, I'm just trying to think back to like what's come out in MG recently, if there's anything that like doesn't have the opportunity for P Bandai variants. I mean, like the last Ver.Ka, I guess, is the Wing Gundam Zero EW Ver.Ka. I mean, we haven't got any variants of that yet, but there's certainly, I mean, they certainly could make like a Snow White version of that or something, which I'm kind of surprised they haven't done that yet. But SDCS, is there something news about the SDCS? Is that what this is? As far as I saw, it just says SD. But is there some other SDCS news that I'm not seeing? Let me go ahead and refresh this, see if there's anything else. Well, here we go. What's this? This is about the Mgsd. Okay, but yeah, there you go on the Bandai Spirits website. Let's take a look at this. I mean, to be optimistic about this, I think this kit is going to look so much better in a different color scheme. I don't know. It's just about like the official color scheme. It's like anime accurate, I guess, but it's, I don't know, not to my personal taste. I'm gonna say doing this up in like a gray with like lavender accents, you know, not the most original color scheme, but I think doing it in like one of those type color schemes, I think it'll look awesome. Or doing like an Amrose version. I'm sure like the day that this kit comes out, we're gonna see people painting it up in like Amrose color scheme with like the white and pink color scheme. I think this is gonna look so much better in different color schemes. So I'm looking forward to building it and, you know, trying out a different color scheme on it. I think we'll see. But yeah, Zeta Gundam, it's just not one of my favorite designs. But it's the 20th anniversary. So yeah, I mean, I guess probably what Bandai did, I mean, because of the 20th anniversary, I would guess that Bandai probably like asked Kotoki there, like what would you love to do? And this is what Kotoki said he wanted to do. I mean, I'm sure probably if he would have said something like completely out of left field, like he wanted to do like an MG Big Zam Ver.Ka, Bandai would have said, no, that's not happening. But I'm sure like within the realm of possibility, they gave him some choice, and I would imagine that this was Kotoki's choice, what he wanted to do for the 20th anniversary. So there you have it. Have they said the price for it yet? I mean, I would imagine this is probably going to be around the 6,000 yen price, maybe slightly cheaper, maybe 5,500 yen, but I would say probably around 6,000 yen is what I would expect for this, for the Japanese list price. What do you guys think about that? Still no GPO1? Yeah, I don't know. I think the GPO1, I mean, considering that Zeta already has a 2.0, the GPO1 would have made so much more sense. It's pretty unfortunate. 7,100 yen, David's is saying there for the list price for this. So actually, I lowballed it. Wow. There you go. 7,150. So that's probably with tax. So it's probably 6,500 yen pre-tax. Does that make sense, right? It's 10% tax. So 6,500 yen plus 10% would be 7,150, right? So there you go, 65. I wasn't that off. I said 6,000. It was 500 yen off. It's 500 yen for additional decals. And not seeing anything about the beam launcher, the like huge beam cannon. That's also pretty disappointing that's not included. If it's not included, we're not seeing anything about it now, and I would imagine that they would. I mean, I'm sure this is like very early on, but it is pretty. If they're not showing it, I'm going to guess that it's not coming with that beam launcher, and that's probably going to be a P Bandai accessory or something, I guess. P Bandai exclusive, you guys are saying, yeah. No Hyper Mega launcher. Yeah. That's okay. Well, Seida's stoked for the Mgx Strike Freedom. Yeah, that's for sure. Neon Rush. Thank you for the super chat there. He said, or they said, I guess I shouldn't assume. They said, disappointed with these announcements, but hey, I picked up an HG Violent after seeing your review, and I fell in love with the design. That's good. Yeah, HG Violent. If they would have come out with an MG Ver.Ka Violent, especially Violent Custom, that would have been awesome. But yeah, I don't expect to see an MG Violent anytime soon. No, I mean, I don't know. It's not completely impossible, but considering how long it took them to make just the HGUC original Violent, they made the Violent Custom, and there's probably like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years between making the Violent Custom before they made the original Violent. But yeah, that's an awesome kit. Yeah, I think I've built 5 versions of that kit. The original Violent Custom, the regular Violent, the Violent is sold, right? Is that the one? The one, the P Bandai one, and also the Violent Custom 02. So maybe 4 anyway. But yeah, I love that kit. It's great. Highly recommend it. That's one of those ones that's one of those like HGUC unicorn era kits that was just really nice. That and like the Silver Bullet is another one that I praise all the time, and it's many different variants that are also really good looking. Notice the head on the MG Zeta looks really long, just like the anime. Yeah, I mean that was one thing that I was gonna say. I mean, I think the head does look really good. That's actually one of the parts that does look really nice on this version of it. I mean, like, yeah, it definitely looks like I mean, you can tell it's a Kotoki design straight away. I mean, it looks good. I gotta say, like, I'm disappointed, but I mean, it's a good looking kit at the end of the day. And that's what I wanted with an RX-782. If it would have been an RX-782, I mean, a lot of you guys, I'm sure, would have been disappointed. But my defense of that would have been like, yeah, I know a lot of you guys are disappointed, but that's a good looking RX-782. Am I right? So, I mean, to be fair, it is a good looking kit. How do you feel about my Violent Custom? I'll send it to you. What was yours, Brian? I'm sure I've seen it, but now that you're like putting me on the spot, now I'm not remembering it. What was that? Oh, now I'm not remembering it. Send me a picture of it or something real quick. Indeed said I'd prefer the granddaddy, to be honest. See, even I thought I was alone, but even you guys, I didn't expect too many people would be in the same corner with me saying that they prefer the granddaddy. But there you have it. No MG Tristan, yeah, no, kind of. Fortunately, no MG Tristan. I mean, that's another one that I just don't really like the design that much. The Tristan has a really great looking head. The rest of the design, I don't know, it's kind of boring. It's basically like a slightly tweaked Alex as far as like the rest of the design goes. It's not that interesting. Grimlock saying, I think I would prefer literally anything else. Yep. There you have it. Let's see. Makes more sense for an MG Ver.Ka 2.0 of the RX-72, right? I mean, yeah, like again, considering that we already have a 2.0 of the Zeta, it is. I think that's one of the reasons why it's disappointing, because like if it was the GPO1, even if that's not like a design that you really necessarily like, I mean, the master grade GPO1 could certainly use a 2.0, and whether it wouldn't be branded as a 2.0, it would just be branded as a GPO1 master grade Ver.Ka, but I mean, essentially it would be a 2.0. This is one design that already has a 2.0, so I don't know. But here's Mercenary is insisting that the 2.0 still sucks. So there you go. I guess differing opinions on that. But all right, what else do you guys have to say about this? How do you think Japanese builders will like it? I think the Zeta Gundam is very popular in Japan, just because it's like it's just such an OG design. I mean, it's like right up there with the ARC-72 for like the most like well-known, popular, like old Gundam designs. Be like ARC-72, and then after that, like the second would be either the new Gundam or the Zeta, I would say. So I mean, like, I'm sure there's a lot of people stoked about this in Japan. But I would have to imagine that there's probably a lot of people in Japan probably thinking the same thing that we are too. I'm sure there's probably a lot of people in Japan that are also kind of like, I love the Zeta, but I mean, really? Okay, Brian, I'll check in a bit. My phone's over there charging, so I can't see it at the moment, but I'll check that here in a bit, Brian. Ben with a good point here. I'm actually excited that I can save some money. There you go. And TMJ Studio saying, forget MG. Yeah, I've seen this sentiment, and this is something that we talked about, and I think it was one of the questions in the last USA Gundam TV live stream. Somebody asked about if they thought that the reason why Bandai was kind of really dialing down the MG line was that because they were going to stop making MGs. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that they're ever going to completely stop making new MG kits. I think the line is going to continue, but I think whether it stays as slow as it is now, where we're getting like 1 or 2 new MGs a year, whether it stays like that or picks back up again in the future, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I would imagine that it's probably going to pick up a little bit more. I don't think it's ever going to be back to a point where we're getting like 10 new HGs, 10 new MGs in a year. But I would imagine once the new factory is built, and they're like things are kind of getting more and more back to normal, Bandai's probably going to get back to a time when they're going to be putting out at least 3 or 4 new MGs a year. That would be my guess, but anything more than that, I just don't think so. I don't know. We'll see. Desperately waiting for a reprint of the Faz. Racing Maniac says, yeah, there's an MG Ver.Ka that I can get excited about. The Faz is awesome, and it's so cool. just because, yeah, I mean, like that's another example of like the old MG Phas kind of sucks. I mean, it's not great, it's fine, but like having a new MG of the Phas was great because that kit really needed an update. This is one, again, I don't know. Yeah, let's talk about, let's see if they've posted anything about the Mgsd. Not yet. Well, just the video here. But I mean, yeah, what do you guys think about the, oh, I got this sound on, it's blowing my ears out, about the Freedom Mgsd? Whoa, let me go to full screen there. What do you guys think about that? Excited? No? Super excited? Belly Boy says super excited. Hughes says, I hate the Zeta Gundam. There you go. Freedom is way too melted. Yeah, I mean, if like again, if it would have been ARC 782, people would have been saying like Bandai's milking the ARC 782 way too much, whatever. But I mean, like the Freedom Gundam is also kind of milked for, you know, the ARC 782 is the Gundam. The Freedom is a popular Gundam from a popular series, you know. So milking the ARC 782 Gundam, I could never really agree with people getting too worked up about Bandai milking the ARC 782 because they're always going to milk the ARC 782. That's a given. But yeah, and the Unicorn, naturally. But the Freedom Gundam, I mean, they've got a lot of really popular Gundam designs, I feel like. Now you're trolling with the image. Did you send it to me? Did you send it to me on Twitter as well? I'm not about to open those messages. Okay, you did. All right, there you go. Yeah. See, now, okay, I see your picture there, Brian. Yeah, I totally remember this now. This is what I was thinking. I remember it was something that you did as kind of like a grotesque kind of take on the design. Yeah. But I didn't remember it exactly. But right. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. So when is this due out? So the MG Ver.Ka is due out in February. This one is due when? January. So January and February. I'm actually really surprised that this is coming out as soon as it is. Hey, Dianjo, there you is. There you are. I heard it's time to send money for plastic. Yep, that's right. Thank you for the super chat there. Like I said, all of you guys with the super chat is going directly to the Genshin Fund for my Sinnoh polls. So thank you for that. Like I said earlier, I unfortunately lost my 50-50 earlier today. So very sad. But yeah, so thank you for that. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. When like the Mgsd logo first leaked, it just leaked. Bandai didn't put that out. So it leaked out. And I'm really wondering if Bandai bumped up the release of Mgsd because of the leak. Because I mean, what it was Bandai, I guess, was like registering the trademark for the logo. And that's what got leaked. And I would imagine, I mean, I don't know, but I had the sense at the time that they were registering the trademark for the logo, and then we probably wouldn't actually see. I mean, I think like this is probably something that they originally had planned for like later on next year. I don't know if this is something that they actually planned on releasing this soon, but I think possibly because of the leak, they're like, well, you know, it's already leaked out there, so we might as well, you know, put some sort of announcement out and bump up the production. Probably not, because I mean, I know that they plan their production schedules like years in advance. So I mean, this is probably something that was already, you know, planned for at least like beginning 2023. But I don't know. It's interesting though. I wonder if the leak had anything to do with it. There you go. TMJ Studio with another super chat there. Thank you. Again, he said, the problem with Mgsd is the price. Not many people will be willing to pay that much for it. I mean, like I was saying earlier, the price is pretty standard for an MG. Obviously, it's really high for an SD, but considering that it's basically an MG just with SD style proportions, I mean, I would think of it more. I mean, there's a reason why, if you look at the logo, there's a reason why the MG part is first, why it's MG SD and not SD MG. In that, I would consider this as basically like buying an MG. It's just got different proportions. So, I mean, if you think about the price in terms of like what you would normally pay for an MG, it's pretty standard. So I don't necessarily think that the price is that high for what you're getting. Because like if this was just a regular MG and like normal style proportions with that price, I don't think anybody would really be saying like, oh, it's way too expensive. But considering that, I mean, I don't know. I see a lot of you guys saying that you think it's overpriced, but I mean, it looks like it's got a good amount of parts there. You know, I think it's obviously not going to have quite as many parts, especially in the inner frame, as like the 2.0. How much is let's go to Dalam. Let's take a trip for a moment. Take a look at the Mg Freedom 2.0. That's a good price comparison because the Mg Freedom 2.0 is a fairly complex 2.0 kit in standard proportions, and that's 4,500 yen. That was the list price for that. So at 40 before, and that's before tax. So with this being, what did I say earlier? Okay, the video's buffering. What was it? It was 42 something. I think that's with tax. I think recently, like any price that Bandai puts out is always the price including tax. Buffering. I'm just going to refresh that. There we go. Yeah, 42.90. So that means it's 3,900 yen. So what was the MG Vert? What was it? It's a correct dollar. What was it? It was 4,500, right? The Freedom 2.0. Where is it? It's 45, right? Perfect. Yeah. So 600 yen cheaper. So for the Freedom 2.0, 4,500 yen. For this 3,900 yen. I don't think I don't think the price is that bad. I mean, and yeah, again, if you convert this 42.90, let's see, 42.90 Japanese yen to US dollar. I mean, yeah, it's $30, but keep in mind, like if you're in the US, that doesn't mean that that's what it should cost here in the US. That's what it costs in Japan. It costs money to bring the kit from Japan to America. And then if you're buying it, obviously from a retailer like USA Gundam Store or any other retailer, retailers have to make profit off it too. So you have to figure there's price added in there for the shipping cost, for the cost of the kit, for retailers to buy the kit from Bandai US, and then their markup, whatever it is, 10% or whatever, I don't know. So I mean, yeah, the list price, what it converts to directly is $30, but I would expect that the retail price for this is probably going to be like 45, something like that, probably. 54 from USA Gundam Store right now. Oh, did Adam already put it up? I know Adam was awake. I was talking to him before we got on the live stream. I was just texting with him. So if he's got it on there already, obviously we don't have the official price from Bandai, what it's going to be yet. Oh, he does. There you go. He's quick. So he's got that on there right away. So yeah, obviously we don't have the official price. And I know just typically from obviously working with Adam very closely in this type of situation, what will happen is that if we do get the official price later from Bandai and it's like significantly different, less than what we were expecting, then we'll adjust the price as necessary. So like if it ends up being like actually much less than that, we would just adjust the price. And if you guys pre-order, then I think your price is adjusted. I don't know exactly how that works, like on the back end, but I know that like if it ends up being like much different, you guys will know about that. But anyway, if you're worried about that, what I would tell you is that, you know, the good thing about pre-ordering, I mean, if you guys want to pre-order it or not, I mean, totally up to you guys. But the good thing about pre-ordering is that it guarantees that you will get a kit as soon as possible. Obviously, we don't get the kits like on release day. So, I mean, it's releasing in Japan in January. That means we will maybe get it in like February, by the end of February, or like beginning of March. But I mean, like pre-ordering, it means that at least you will get one. Whereas, you know, if you wait till it gets released to stores, you know, if you're quick, you can get one. If not, you know, you might miss out. And if it's like a kit that you're really excited about, then, you know, I recommend pre-ordering. But you guys can do whatever you see fit. I know the thing is that with kits like that, what you may want to do is wait till the kit releases, and once you start seeing, you know, once you can check out some reviews from people on it, then you want to make up your mind. In that case, you know, what can happen is that if you wait for reviews to come out and then you decide you want to get one, then you might find, oh, now it's sold out everywhere. So that, I mean, that can be an issue. I don't know. What I would say is just pre-order it, get it, and then if once you get it and you see the reviews and you're like, now I kind of regret getting it, then just scalp it. It makes some profit. No, just kidding. Don't do that. But you could always resell it for at least at cost to you, so you're not losing any money, and just sell it to somebody else who maybe didn't pre-order it and, you know, would like the kit. That could be a nice thing to do. Check the inner frame and articulation photos of it. Oh, are there inner frame and articulation photos of it? I mean, honestly, as far as like the inner frame and articulation photos of it, I mean personally, I don't really care that much about that. Inner frame just ends up getting covered by armor anyway, so I'm not that big of a inner frame fan. I mean, if it's got a really nice inner frame, you know, great. I just really care mostly about what the kit looks like on the outside. And as far as articulation, again, I mean, if it can do a couple of cool poses, or even if not, even if this thing, okay, let's look at the video. Oh, it's going to be buffering again. If it has no articulation, it just can, all it can do is just stand there. If it stands there and looks good, then I honestly wouldn't necessarily care all that much. I mean, obviously that nice articulation is cool. That's one of the things to like about Bandai kits. But I mean, for me personally, this is a very, very subjective opinion. Like articulation doesn't necessarily matter all that much, depending on like what I ultimately want to do with the kit. But most of the time for me, like if it's a kit that I actually plan on like putting in the work of painting and everything like that, in that case, I mean, more often than not, I normally just will then keep the kit in just like a standing pose. So if it can do that and look good, then I'm happy enough with the kit. But you know, I know that articulation matters a whole lot more for a lot of other people. That's why I cover it in my reviews. Because if it was up to me personally, like just seeing that the kit can do this pose like that, if it can do that, I think that's more than enough than what the kit needs to do. If it can kneel, I mean, I guess the cool thing about the kit being able to kneel is that I think there was like in the anime, oh, here's kind of showing a bit about the articulation. So yeah, it basically kind of does everything that the 2.0 does. You can see here with the 2.0 Zeta, I think had the same gimmick where the forearm extends to give you a further bend at the elbow. I believe the MG 2.0 had the same thing. But I mean, like, wasn't there a scene in the anime like when the Freedom, when like, okay, there it is about the knee bend. It's like when the, okay, yeah. When the when like you first see the Freedom, it's like in the hangar, like kneeling down, right? So I mean, like it kind of makes sense for it to be able to kneel because it was like a memorable shot, memorable scene of the Freedom in the anime. So that makes sense. But yeah, for me, I don't know. I don't really care that much about it. Toe bends too, yeah. So yeah, like I was saying before, it seems basically very much, I mean, MG, but also reminds me of just maybe just because of like the size and the details, reminds me almost more of like an RG. So I mean, like they honestly could have branded this as RGSD, and I mean, I don't know if the kit would have necessarily looked any different than it does. Probably just like the actual size, rather than like an RGSD would have been this big, and like an MGSD would have been that big, a little bit larger. But I mean, for what it is, that like that title on it, that branding on it, I don't think really would have changed anything necessarily about what the kit is. I feel like they should have called it RGSD. Yeah, I mean, honestly, looking at it and looking at the details and everything does kind of strike me more as like kind of RG styling, doesn't it? I don't know, a little bit. So what do you guys think? Now we wait for PGSD. Maybe. We'll see. Sorry, Reiji. Reiji already said RGSD. So did you already do? I mean, I've not been able to keep up with the chat. Sorry, Reiji. But yeah, I'm sure I'm not the first person to notice that. But yeah, definitely. Probably around 10 to 12 centimeters tall. Yeah, I would imagine it would be maybe a little bit larger than that. It's not going to be like your typical MG is about 18 centimeters. I don't think it'll be quite that tall. I think it'll be a little bit shorter, maybe 14 to 16 centimeters. Taller than an HG, not as tall as an MG, just because of the proportions. It won't be 20 centimeters. I don't think that's big. I think that's too big. You'd just pre-ordered. Awesome. There you go. Are there any other announcements after this? There are supposed to be some other announcements. If we go back here, I don't think there's going to be too much else today that I know of. But if you go to the site here, it shows that today, Thursday in Japan, it's Thursday. It's almost Thursday here in the US too. But there's supposed to be news here, Gunpla, so that's what we already got. There's also Gundam World Heroes, which is SD stuff, and Witch from Mercury news. So I'm guessing there is probably going to be a few more announcements just throughout the day today. Probably stuff that we'll see posted. I guess some new stuff about some new HG Witch from Mercury kits. I guess other than that, I wouldn't expect like news of like an MG aerial necessarily. Although possibly, maybe not today. I would assume that we are probably going to get an MG aerial Gundam, but just maybe not today. Let's see, did Adam also put the new Zeta? He did. Very quick on that. So there you go. Both of them up for pre-order there already. So yeah, check those out, guys. Like I said, especially this one, the MGSD. I mean, I don't know how popular that's going to be. This one, though, because it's a Ver.Ka and because it's an MG, I know MG kits, just from my experience there at USA Gundam Store, MG kits are really, really, really fast turnaround on those. Anything, even if it's like an old MG, basically like as soon as we get it in, it's like out the door the next day. So any MG stuff is popular and sells out fast. Any restock, just like a restock or reissue, or new kits, of course, that get MG is usually pretty fast turnaround. So I mean, like, yeah, if you guys want this, like as close, I mean, like shortly after its release, maybe just pre-order. But again, up to you guys. So yeah, I assume later today we'll get some more news about that, and there's going to be more news tomorrow about new 30 minutes missions, 30 minutes sister stuff. That'll be interesting. Kamen Rider, Yu-Gi-Oh, Super Robot Wars OG. So probably a new HG Super Robot Wars kit would be my guess is what this is going to be. I've really enjoyed the first two. They've made three. I didn't build one of them, the Cybuster, is that right? One of them I didn't build. I think there's only been three so far. But yeah, Super Robot Wars, new HG kit is what I guess that would be. That's cool. Macross Plus, I'm not sure what that is going to be. Pokemon Plamo, Digimon, so probably a new Digimon kit. This is Kyokai Senki, new Bandai tools. What is this? Paifam? Paifam? What's that? Am I reading that? Paifam. What's Paifam? Well, I'm not figuring out what that is. I'm excited about Vifam. Okay, is it Vifam? What is that? I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Some other series looks like it's probably like an older series, I guess, and 50th anniversary of Mazinger as well. So some new Mazinger news. That's it. But I mean, all this stuff will be cool. I don't know what the new Kyokai Senki release is going to be. That's interesting, considering that series is done. Maybe a new HG or something. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. I guess. I don't know. So overall, I gotta say, yeah, the big news. I mean, it's definitely big. Okay. At the very least, it's news that I was not expecting at all. Gundam tools. Yeah, what it is. I mean, like Bandai makes some tools, and over the past few years, they've been kind of making more tools, and they're more like tools like for beginners. So like the kind of stuff that like if you're just trying, especially like if you're a young kid in Japan and you're at the store and there's Gundam models, you can get your Gundam tools right there, also from Bandai. That kind of thing. I mean, like pretty basic tools. But yeah, Bandai's been doing that more recently. So I would assume the new tools is going to be, I don't know, some new knife or something. I don't know. Nothing too exciting, I wouldn't imagine. But cool to see what the new 30 minutes stuff is going to be. See what that stuff is. The new Witch from Mercury news. See what that is. I don't think it'll be any kind of MG. Probably just some new HG stuff, I guess. But it's supposed to be today. I don't know. Maybe it can be later on. Yeah, there's supposed to be something going on at 1 p.m. there, Tokyo time, which is midnight here. So in about 30 minutes, 40 minutes from now, we might see some more stuff. There's probably going to be some more stuff about these big announcements, I guess. Okay, so before we I'd be on board with a full mechanics main ghost. Yeah, another full mechanics release is very possible. Yeah. Anything else about this stuff regarding the new announcements or anything anything else you guys want to chat about before we wrap up the stream for the night? That was pretty much it. Just kind of wanted to see what the new announcements were going to be. Yeah, like I was going to say, I'm not super excited about the new announcements, but I'm glad that they were something unexpected. Like the Zeta Gundam was one that that was like kind of in my top 5 of what I expected the new Ver.Ka to be. It would have been like ARC 782, GPO1, Zeta Gundam, and then I don't know what else after that, but yeah. So, but I mean, it is still surprising, even though Zeta Gundam was one of like the top options that I was considering what it might be. It was like 70% RX-782, 20% GPO1, 10% Zeta. It was like my expectations. So it's still pretty surprising, even though it was like one of the ones I kind of guessed it might be. The Freedom Gundam, I definitely would not have guessed that. But I really had no idea what to think about that. For the Mgsd, other than the RX-782, I just really had no idea what that was going to be. So whatever it ended up being, if it was other than the RX-782 Gundam, it was going to be surprising no matter what. So I'm glad that kind of, Bandai came out with some pretty, at least somewhat unexpected releases. But can't say that, at least for me personally, that exciting. Let's see. MGSD Cascade. Yeah, I just want an HGUC Cascade. I would love that. If they made like if they made an RE100 Cascade, even better. But an HGUC Cascade would be awesome. The SD Tornado Gundam, yeah, I saw that. I don't know. I'm not that into it. I don't know. What is that even from? I don't know. I don't even know what this is. What is this from? It looks. I don't know. What kind of vibe is that giving me? Honestly, it seems like it's got to be from some game or manga or something. Is this like from the same game that the Cascade is from? Because it has kind of similar vibes. And they made an SDCS Cascade, so if they made another like really obscure Gundam from the same game, it would kind of make sense. But I'm not familiar with this Gundam at all. I don't know. Also, it doesn't really do much for me, to be honest. G-Self, absolutely never ever. Yep, seems like that. Tornado Gundam is from SDG Generations. Okay, there you go. I think there will be more announcements tonight. Yeah, as we were just talking about, I think there will be a couple more announcements today, at least maybe one or two, but nothing like too major. It's from a game, yeah, so there you go. Yeah, some Witch from Mercury. There's supposed to be some sort of Witch from Mercury announcement at some point today. I wouldn't really expect anything too major from that. Yeah, indeed. Also pointing out that it looks like it's from After War X. Yeah, that was going to be... Ooh, wind's picking up. No, that was going to be another thing I was going to say, is that it looks like it's either from like Gundam X or like it's very like similar flavor to the Cascade, really. Just like design and color palette or wise kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, Gundam X is also a good guess. Yeah, I agree. I was thinking the same thing. HD Huckabee. Yeah. If they're gonna do Super Robot Wars, I don't know enough about Super Robot Wars to know if that's like from like that's like not part of like the Super Robot OG series or what. I don't know, but new tweet just popped off. All right, let's see. And also, I mean, I'm only checking just the Bandai Spirits Twitter page. There's probably other Twitter pages. Oh, it's just a new tweet about the Gundam Kun thing. I don't know. Is it a video unavailable? All right. It's about the Gundam Kun. Yeah, a Gundam Aerial Gundam Kun. I don't know. Not that interested. All right. So let's check the YouTube channel here one more time. Yeah, nothing new on the YouTube channel, so that's all. Well, congrats to Bandai, though. 4.5, 4.6, 4.7 thousand views in the first hour. Not too bad. All right. So I think that's probably going to be it for this evening. Yeah. Interesting news, indeed. The wind is picking up here. The hurricane is bearing down on us here in Florida. So I think it's not quite to where we are. It's like almost here. So probably later on tonight and into tomorrow, it's going to be getting pretty windy here where we are in Florida. So wish us luck, but hopefully we don't lose power and, it's just windy, rainy. Stay inside for next day or so and nothing really will happen, and that'll be just fine. Worst comes to worst, we might lose power or something, but Adam was kind enough to loan me a generator. There you go. See what a great boss he is. He loaned me a generator to use in case the power goes out. We can at least keep the fridge on so our food doesn't all spoil. So that'd be good. Other than that, Wind Gundam confirmed. What's that? I don't know. Other than that, guys, yeah, interesting news. All right, so that's it. The wait Was it worth the wait? I guess it was. It seems like 2 months ago when they announced that there was going to be a 20th anniversary Ver.Ka announcement coming. It seems like it's been a while. Yeah, Coolio died as well. Yeah, sad news. So overall, a pretty sad day. What I'm going to do now is go play some Genshin Impact before bed. So, like I said earlier, the 3.0 update, 3.1 update just launched. I've put in maybe about 90 pulls so far and lost the 50-50 on Sinnoh, pulled Diluc. Sad days, but on the plus side, I already got C5 Candace. I think I got two or three constellations on Kuki. Anyway, got the Kuki Shinobu up to C5 as well, which I'm very happy about that. So my and then I think I pulled one Sayu, which is fine because Sayu, I don't know, I don't use Sayu, but I've been very happy with my 4-star pulls on the banner, but man, just trying to get that Sinnoh. So wish me luck, guys. I'm gonna go play a little bit before bed, and yeah, wish us luck on the weather as well. But that's gonna be it for today. If you guys didn't see, those of you guys who are shopping from Zeta Gundam store, I don't know, just a kind of one more thing. We're closed obviously tomorrow, and then Friday is still up in the air. So like if you guys have placed orders or something like that recently, I think Adam already sent something out or sent out an email or something. But just if you guys are waiting on orders or something, just know that the store is closed from the hurricane. Oh, they just announced a new thing. What? See, man, they're getting me. I swear, somebody is watching the stream to put these announcements out right after I wrap up the stream. Dang. Okay, here you go. Is there anything else? Yep. All right, there you have it. Full mechanics Ariel. So I guess we can assume there's not going to be a MG. I don't want to say that there's not going to be an MG ever, but I think at least for now there's not going to be an MG. Bandai is definitely trolling. Indeed, yeah. Bandai is, I swear, somebody at Bandai is watching the stream and messing with me with these announcements. But yeah, so I'm very hesitant to make my predictions about this just because of what happened with the Barbatos. When the Full Mechanics Barbatos came out, I said something along the lines of like, oh, now that we have a 100 scale Full Mechanics Barbatos, I wouldn't expect an MG Barbatos for like 5 years. And then we ended up getting an MG Barbatos like 2 years later. So it was still a little bit of a wait. But the MG Barbatos definitely came much sooner than I would have expected. So I wouldn't rule that out here for the Aerial Gundam. So just because we're getting a Full Mechanics Aerial Gundam now doesn't mean that it's going to be too long of a wait before we get the MG. Now, I would say, like, if you love the design and you're thinking, oh, maybe I'll pass on this and just wait for the MG, I don't know. It could be a long time, or it could not. It's really kind of hard to know. But, I mean, let's take a look at this. This is all we have to go off of so far. And, I mean, if it's anything like the Full Mechanics Barbatos, I mean, the MG blew the Full Mechanics kit out of the water, and the Full Mechanics kit is like so trash in comparison to how good the MG Barbatos is. So, I mean, with that in mind, maybe you do want to hold off and wait on this one. I don't know. Tough call. Yeah, like I said, it depends on how much you love the design. And maybe this is an awesome kit. I mean, just from what I can tell just by looking at this, I mean, it looks similar to like the Full Mechanics Barbatos, which, yeah, didn't age very well. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, there you have it. I'm going to wrap up the stream. Stay tuned to Bandai, because I'm sure as soon as I wrap up the stream, we're probably going to get some more news. So if you guys want to see what the latest news is, make sure you're checking that out. Click the link. Oh, okay. Thank you, guys. Is there more stuff at the link? But what do I do with that? Oh, there's some more stuff here, isn't there? Ah, okay. Oh, right. Okay. So there's a better image of that. I can kind of see the breakdown of the parts and everything. Fair enough. March for 4,100 yen. Layered clear parts in the head and chest. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. It'll be better on than MG, but okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good. That'll be interesting. The shield, of course, all that good stuff. The HG is due out. I think the HG is releasing this weekend, I believe, in Japan. So the HG will be coming out. So on that note, speaking of HG, honestly, some of these new HGs look kind of more interesting than the full mechanics. This one looks pretty dope. Look at that. Like a Samus. It like reminds me of like a Metroid Samus, like blaster arm there, doesn't it? Kind of giving me that kind of vibe there, especially with like the big round shoulders as well. It's very Samus-esque. I can't wait to see this one come out, and like day 2 after release, you see someone's custom painted build in Samus colors. Mark my words. Write it down now. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, as soon as this comes out, you're going to see Samus custom paint jobs of this. Telling you now. Quote me later. Zach called it. There you go. That looks good though. That looks cool. This one, not as into the color scheme on this, but does look like a cool design. This is like a sister unit. It's the Begir Pente, so it's a variation of the Begir Bu. This one has the Begir Bu colors, but the Mgsd, but a different name anyway. So same color scheme, different name, similar name, different color scheme, but similar head. So are these like sister suits or something? They've got to be related in some way. I don't know. The big cross shield's kind of cool. But obviously, yeah, this is like the whole, like from the waist down, it's like all the exact same kit as the Begir Bu, basically, it looks like. That's all the same. The shoulders are similar, not exactly the same. The head's, similar. So the arms also look like those are probably the same. Yeah, same arms. So, which is a variation of the Begir Bu, basically. Interesting, though. Looks cool. Yeah, cool design. A tickle bag. What is that? Tick balang. Okay. Basically like a base jabber here. We got our Jagan of the series here as well, I see. So it can hang from there. Okay, yeah. So our base jabber for the series. Very nice. That looks cool. Yep. Our version of a Jim or Jagan. Zort. February. 1,700 yen, 1,600 yen before tax. No shoulder armor on it at all. It's kind of interesting. Let's see. Yeah, that's different. Very different design. Kind of cool. Oof. The always weird cross section. Okay. This guy is another similar kind of the Hendry. Kind of similar one like the first two. Kind of similar vibe as the Begir Bu or the Mgsd we saw at the top. Reminds me a lot of like the Valkyrie frames from Iron Blooded Orphans. Sort of reminds me of the helmet rain car. It's just like the feet. It's a similar vibe. And then doesn't necessarily have a very big weapon like the massive sword of the helmet rain car, but kind of reminds me of that anyway. Oh, and here's our new Gundam, the Lefrith Ur. Man, that's different. That's really cool though. Like a full armor version of the Lefrith, sort of. Man, that's chunky. Yeah, that's pretty cool though. Definitely like the design. It's got the big cannon. It's got the Gatling gun. And that massive chunky armor. Very cool. Yeah, I like it. The color scheme obviously reminds me a lot of the Leopard Da Vinci HG kit. And what's this guy? Lefrith Thorn. Okay. Similar kind of aesthetic with like all the angles and everything, kind of like a blocky design, but much thinner version, of course, not near as chunky. Very interesting. It's very wide and short. Proportionally, it's kind of weird. I preferred it not being that short. It kind of makes it look very weird. It's otherwise a very cool design, but the proportions are super weird. It's got like super wide and super long, like huge arms. And like the legs look like they're in like a totally different scale. It's kind of weird looking proportionally. It's a really cool design, but the proportions are strange. It's like all the added armor onto it. Huh. But like really cool weapon as well. A new backpack for the Ariel. Sort of similar like what we saw with the G-Self, how they sold the flight pack separately. The Mirasol flight unit. Extra I in there, Bandai. Okay, fair enough. What's that coming out for? 800 yen. Come on, couldn't give us that for a 600 yen price tag for that. Oh, but these parts here on the side pop out for the verniers. That's kind of cool. Interesting. All right. It's a cool little backpack. That'll be interesting for like kit bash fodder. Can use that on kind of basically anything. Some HG hands in the set as well. It's going to give you open hands. That's cool. Always nice to get some more hand parts. Would have been nice if those were just included with the base kit. You didn't have to get them through an option set. But oh, and a base. Yes, a base for all the shield bits. So they're going to be selling that separately, naturally, for 500 yen. Base parts for all your shield bits for the Gundams. Okay. And decals. What is this going to be? Is it going to show the full decal sheet here anywhere? No, but I guess they're going to have a decal sheet coming out with all the logos for everything and a few markings. So that's cool. Good to know that that's on the way. 500 yen for the decal sheet for that. That'll be waterside decals, by the way. If you guys didn't know, when they do decals like that, that's when they do actually. That's when they actually do waterside decals. And you guys said there's more here. The slow drip. Okay. Here's some shots here of this stuff. Okay. Yeah. Cool. It's an inflatable like thing. So you can see some of the stuff there on display. Basically kind of what we've already been looking through. So there's the new SD stuff. So this was the other thing that was getting announced today. It's new SD. Because, I mean, that one's cool. What is that based off of? What is that? Oh, the Akatsuki, right? Without reading the name at all, I'm just guessing that that's based off the Akatsuki. Based on the V-fin. Could be wrong. In fact, it's all gold. But that's what I'm going to guess. I don't know. It's interesting. Okay. All right. But I think that's going to do it. Okay, here's some more about the full mechanics kit. Got some images, closer up images of that to kind of see how that looks. Looks fine. I think if and when they ever make an MG, it's just probably going to blow that out of the water. But if you can't wait and you really want a 100 scale version of the Ariel, it's going to be serviceable. I imagine. Here's the Ver.Ka video. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there because I think that's all the news we're gonna see today. Just based on what we saw on the image of what was coming out today and what's coming out tomorrow. That seems to be like that's probably gonna be it for today. Some cool stuff. The Witch from Mercury HG kits, probably honestly the most exciting thing for me. The Ver.Ka Zeta Gundam will be awesome. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to repainting that in a different color scheme. I think it's going to do wonders for that kit. It's a good looking kit. I think the colors are really weighing it down. So repainting that in some different colors will be awesome. MG Age 1 full glance up P Bandai. Really? I want to check on that. Are you making that up? This is P Bandai USA. Probably not, right? I need to go to P Bandai Japan. P Bandai. Here it is. Right? This is the right one. You're pulling my chain on that. MG full glance. This is not right. Then I'm just going to go back here. Where is about the... That would be something I want to see about. Is there actually an MG full glance coming? The P Bandai announcements were the most exciting. Where is that? Bandai. Premium Bandai US. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, this is the right one. All right. What do we got here? I'm not seeing anything on the P Bandai Twitter. Where are you guys seeing that? Go to the next phase page. Hey. All right. I'm trying to wrap up this stream and go play some Genshin Impact. Is this the right page I'm going to here? Yeah, next phase. Okay, what am I looking for here? Next phase. Okay. What am I looking for? Here's all the stuff I already know about. Oh, indeed. Very interesting. New HG Zaku stuff, and also some new decals. Didn't mean to click on that. I just wanted to see it. Okay, some more decals on the way. That's cool. But yes, indeed. MG full glance. Very interesting. Okay, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Wow. All right. Now that's an announcement. Exactly. Tuesday. That's right. Now that's an announcement. See? Man. Full grandpa. That's cool. The MG age kits are very nice. And I love I've built and reviewed the HG version of the full glance years and years ago. It's an awesome kit. It's a really cool design. So that is really exciting to have an MG of that. That's going to be really cool. Definitely going to have to check that out. I'm excited about that. That's probably all the news today. That's probably the thing that I'm most excited about, for sure. All right. But someone call up Crosama for the age kit. I'm sure if he doesn't know already, I'm sure his phone is blowing up with people telling him about that. I'm sure he's very excited about that. Was that one of the ones that they teased years ago? I don't think so. Like they had like the MG Age. One was like the FX, right? Age FX. There was two MG Age kits that they had prototypes of that never ended up getting made. One was the FX, and what was the other one? It was like the Age 3 normal, I think, wasn't it? Age 3, yeah. Okay, there you go. Zero Blade, yeah. So full glance, it wasn't one of those, interestingly enough, but here we are. All right, so yeah, very cool, exciting news to end the stream on, because I am going to end the stream now. I'll just wrap it up. That was I did what I wanted to do with this stream, and that was kind of see the new news regarding the new Ver.Ka and the new Mgsd. Let me know if you guys are watching later in the comments. What do you think about that? It's interesting. Yeah, and if you're super stoked and wanting to pre-order, like I said, at the USA Gundam store. I should also note that if you guys are, just before ending the stream, just kind of reminder on this, the Mecha Musume contest, you guys now have about 2 weeks left till the contest deadline for that. So hopefully if you guys are working on your entries, hopefully you're getting close to being done with that. I've been getting a number of finished entries so far, and definitely some pretty cool ones already. And usually like the last couple weeks is when the finished entries really start to roll in, and there should be a lot. I'm expecting we should have at least over 100. Oh man, it's getting real windy now. Okay, time to wrap up the stream and hunker down. Hurricane is bearing down on us. So thank you guys so much for checking out the stream today, tonight, from home. I'm glad that the internet held out and that the internet's working for us here, that I could do this stream with you guys tonight from home. So stay tuned for more stuff on the way. But until later, I see I still have that comment still on the screen there. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys. Until next time, have a good rest of the week and weekend. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.